WJBF Live, Viper 6, a clean sweep with the CSRA, conditions remaining dry. You're watching WJBF News Channel 6, where you get your most accurate forecast first. 67 in the morning, 79 at noon, and then 85 by 4 o'clock with a light east wind.
I think what we have going on here in the last 24 hours is the greatest number of Americans rescued by helicopter since Hurricane Katrina.
Now on Good Morning Augusta, rescuers are still trying to reach people who are stranded from flash flooding in Colorado. All that as more rain is forecasted to come. Plus, the deal has been reached over what exactly to do with the situation in Syria. The full details straight ahead. And a plane crashes here in the CSRA. Details right now on Good Morning Augusta.
Live from Television Park in high definition. Coverage you can count on. This is WJBF News Channel 6. Good Morning Augusta.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Good Morning Augusta, and thanks for joining us. I'm Archit Seshadri. Time now is 7:01.
And I'm meteorologist Jason Appy. Great to have you here on a Sunday morning. How about those Yellow Jackets yesterday?
They did a pretty good job, didn't they? I'm impressed with them.
And the Gamecocks as well.
Well, last week, a lot of upset fans. This week, maybe some smiles on their faces.
Yeah, and Georgia had the week off, and we'll see how they do. We here in the CSRA, weather-wise, we're doing it's pretty nice weekend-wise. A late summer end.
We'll take those the fall cooler temperatures coming in.
Cooler temperatures in the morning. We'll take a look at that right now. We have current temperatures in the 60s widespread, and we did have a couple of 70s on the map there over towards Sparta. So if you're getting ready to head out to church this morning or heading out and about, things look really nice and quiet on the dry side. Satellite and radar the past 3 hours, just a few passing clouds coming through the CSRA. No rain to speak of this morning. Here's the forecast today: 67, 79, and 85. Temperatures look really nice here, nice and dry. Unfortunately, not the same for people out in Colorado.
Unfortunately, yeah, a lot of rains we talked about yesterday in the newscast. And as we mentioned, rescuers are still trying to reach those who are trapped from flood-ravaged waters in towns in Colorado. And they're urging folks not to stay behind. Now, those who do may not have electricity, water, or basic supply for weeks. ABC's Chuck Silverstein has new details this morning on the flood crisis that's paralyzing the Rocky Mountain foothills. That's this morning's developing story.
Hundreds of National Guard troops braving treacherous floodwaters, driving through practically impassable streets, picking up stranded families, their children, and their pets, and important personal belongings stashed in their suitcases. Nearly 7,000 people have been evacuated so far. Saturday, officials ordered even more mandatory evacuations. This drone video shows the power of the raging river, and the neighborhood is devastated. The mountains of water have torn apart streets, damaged bridges, cutting off more and more communities.
There are a lot of people that have been, stranded, marooned for many days.
More than a dozen helicopters are now the only connection between stranded residents and the outside world.
I think what we have going on here in the last 24 hours is the greatest number of Americans rescued by helicopter since Hurricane Katrina.
The choppers pick up people and deliver food and water to those left behind. There are about 1,200 of them alone in Larimer County.
We have over 7,000 meals ready to eat, MREs.
Many farms and their animals are surrounded by water.
Margie!
Farmers spread out across the flood zone to rescue their animals.
We got 14 head of horses out in water that was above the hood of the truck.
And it isn't over yet by any stretch. Flood warnings and watches are posted until the end of the weekend, threatening to push even more water into a flooded area that's already the size of Connecticut. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News, New York.
The threat of a military strike against Syria is no more, at least for right now. Leaders have struck a new deal between Russia and the United States. The deal says within 1 week, the country must account for all of its chemical weapons and say where they're stored. Under the agreement, international inspectors would be on the ground by November with weapons destroyed or removed by mid-2014. Right now, all eyes are on Syria's President Bashar al-Assad, who must agree on that deal.
There can be no games, no room for avoidance, or anything less than full compliance by the Assad regime.
A possible U.S. military strike against Syria has not been ruled out just yet. Well, turning now to news closer to home and our look across the CSRA this morning. A close call for 2 passengers after a plane crash in Richmond County Saturday. Those passengers luckily only suffered minor injuries. The crash happened on the 4500 block of Bowlanu Road around 2:30 yesterday afternoon. That's right off Bathride Road in Blythe. News Channel 6's Tyrone McCoy was there just moments after crews arrived.